One more time. Wasn't anything that fell out of my pockets. I don't think. Nope, we're good. Wait, well maybe it was the tape measure. Nope, tape measure's still there. Cheap ass tape measure. So yeah, I traced this thing on Google Maps. Oh, did they clean it out? On Google Maps, and this thing flows. It snakes in a weird way. All right. You know what? Fuck it. I got the gist of it. It takes me an hour and 20 minutes. I used to be able to do it in an hour. And that's what a CDL will get you. Well, a lot of people at the bar tonight. It's pretty good metal. It's heavy. This thing has a tag on it. Not much of a tag. Because they aren't coming until next week. They already said we're not doing pickup. They missed mine too. Little knowledge like that saves your life. Probably coming up, hey, how come you move my trash can? Don't you know they're picking up? And I was like, no, they're not picking up this week. Didn't you get the message from the water department? I know they probably didn't get it from their councilman. I'm trying to remember how I got signed up on his newsletter to begin with. It doesn't matter. He's gone in 2 months. What I was thinking about, was he going for public office? Like, no, he's probably got a cushy job as a lobbyist somewhere. I mean, why even bother to go through political office now? And on top of that, he can't win. He can't win. He can't win U.S. rep. His own neighborhood hates him. Like, just imagine how he would fare against Mark Veazey. Can't go for Senate. That's Republican. And I get the feeling that his lifestyle is such where the Republicans aren't really wanting that kind of guy right now. So, can't go for state senate or state rep. They're already, the guy who's in there, the incumbent, is quite comfortable, plus he's a Democrat. I mean, he might do it. Like, maybe he has a decent chance against Rafael and China. I didn't even know who our rep was until I looked it up yesterday. I got a stupid idea of sending a letter to all my reps, letting them know what's going on in this neighborhood. But I'm holding off on it because I have no idea what that could shake up. You know, I post this stuff on YouTube. Nobody cares about this. Nobody's watching this. I mean, I got a few subscribers here and there, and I can't tell if it's basically like Europeans who can't really affect anything that happens here. And then I get the feeling that there's some scammers that are just trying to poke through my life for different types of information. Phishing. A lot of the stuff I'm providing, I'm hoping, is pretty much already in the public domain anyway. I'm not giving them anything new. I do give anecdotes about my life, but with no details. And that's the age I'm living in. I can't say names or bring up specific dates because it could be used against me. Anyway, I say something, next thing you know, in my neighborhood there'd be ice raids and everything else going on. I'm not naive enough to believe that if I send this letter, it'll get directly to the representatives. But I figure I'd make the day of a poor staffer who has to sit there and kind of go through the pile. Although I doubt even the staffers are going through that pile. They probably just let it sit for a long period of time, and then one day somebody does an investigative report, and then the next thing you know, the staffer's like, oh yeah, he did send a letter. All right. problem is that to hit the controls on this thing are like, what I missed about my old Walkman was the tactile controls. If I wanted to turn it down, I roll my thumb. It didn't matter what I was wearing, I could roll my thumb and turn it down. Oh, I stopped talking because this is a really good song. What's the name of this? Oh, The Replicator by Rainbow Dragon Eyes. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't this all the stuff I listened to at Bachman? I was like, yeah, that's how long it's been since you walked. I was like, okay. When did we go to Bachman? Well, it's kind of neat they got this thing for the blind. I don't even have to hit the button, I just kind of go next to it and it senses me. Or maybe it was voice activated, that's why it heard me. Oh, it says push or wave at the button. Okay. Yeah, it sensed me. I didn't know that was motion. Okay. Hell, I just been happy if I push it and it makes a noise or it lights up. And the shittier part of the neighborhood that I live in, they don't even go that far. When I come down here, and like I said, this is why this side of the street has always been therapy for me. I'm walking around at 11:30 on a Sunday, or 23:30 for those who use the 24-hour clock. Damn near midnight. I couldn't do this on the other side. Not without a bulletproof vest and some significant training. That'll probably get taken out of context. Yeah, the guy was talking to himself and said something about a bulletproof vest. It's not that this area doesn't get touched by the madness. You look at some of the people's fences and you see somebody wiped out their iron fence, and it gets to be a regular occurrence. But yeah, they're going to continue to have problems on Walnut Hill because it's built wrong. You've got two public schools on this pathway here, one private school, and they've got all these wide lanes and good asphalt. I can mention all these things, but it takes collective will. Be right though. Okay, so I got up late on every day this week. I just couldn't get it together. And then Saturday was a mess. I had stayed up for all them hours. And I looked at my footage for the meeting, and it was all smudged looking because there's something on the lens. I was so tired I didn't even check to see if my lens was wiped. Somebody got their car stolen around here, according to next door. They said Walnut Hill and Marsh. My guess is probably the bad side. But people have reported people coming over here and taking stuff too. I see all this trash, and I guess I'm gonna have to do a trash pickup here next time I'm around. Ontario. that light's on. I don't know the routine of this place. Maybe somebody's cleaning up. Would someone steal from a church? Why not? Church has got good stuff too. If you lived your whole life without seeing evidence of any kind of divine power keeping the bad stuff from happening, the church is just another mark. I was just thinking about how if you consume chocolate, there are no days when you don't. Like, or there's no holidays that we just got through Christmas. And you think, okay, I can take a little break, and then Valentine's Day is the chocolate holiday. And then here comes the Easter season. My grass is getting high. No, I never paid attention to the high grass until I went to that thing. And where I'm at, people park on the grass or pave it over. So it never really gets to be that much of a problem. Strike the earth, dog. I didn't grow up with this song, but it fires me up. I don't know what it is about Strike the Earth. Maybe I like the flow in the brakes. But it's definitely action music. That's why they put it in a video game, duh, but it's different. I don't know, every time I hear it, it feels like I'm making a difference. Or I have to make a difference. It's motivational. Strike the earth. Although Shovel Knight is a tragic game. Might as well not call him the Shovel Knight, might as well call him the Heartbreak Knight. Or the Heartbroken Knight. If I ever had time for video games, I'd actually play that one. It's in my wish list. And I'm just too much of a cheap bastard to buy it, but even if I do, I'll never play it. Although I see what Alice was talking about. There's sometimes when you get out here and you do all this and it feels like you're wasting your time. I'm not as fired up about this as he is, and the other thing is I haven't been doing it as long. And the third thing is I get the feeling this is it. This is all he does. And I would be fascinated by that. Except I already have a job. That's what's so tiring about this, is it's a job with no pay. So I mean, if a guy like Alex is motivated to do it and he doesn't really get any kind of financial benefit out of it, what's the excuse of the people that he encounters in the city where this is, you went for this and you decided that you wanted to do this for the rest of your life for a paycheck? And I guess that's the question I have to every civil servant in Dallas. Why are you here? If you thought this was going to be a cushy job, leave it now. If something demotivated you, I understand that, but please keep going. We are rooting for you. It doesn't seem like it, but there are people who want you to succeed. What's the old expression that the young people are always saying? Ignore the haters. That might have came out of my generation, though. So they're talking like an old man. That's because I hang around old people. And I went to that place, and the lady called me young man, and I just kind of bristled. Like, really? I'm damn near 50. But that told me how old they were. And then that's it. That's the only people that are out there fighting for their neighborhoods. The only people that had the time. They had one young buck in there. Look, he might have been the same age. Well, he looked younger than me, like in his 30s. The only reason he was there is because of the parking situation, where he bought a house, he's living in his house, and he's got all these people parking around his house that block him in. I want to post the video of the meeting, but I never post these things because people give away too much information. You know, they tell me they say where they live in the middle of all of that. Can't post that, and I'm too lazy to try to censor all of that out. But at that meeting, there was a lot of people. They were trying to point out, you know, this is what code enforcement does, and all those people were like, "We've heard all of this. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Why can't we? Why haven't you addressed this?" And what got missed in all of that, I don't know if people saw it or not, but at the end of it, it wasn't like there was acid or acrimony between the two. Everybody went out and they talked to the code enforcement people in their neighborhood, except for me. Mine didn't show up. And I was like, that's typical. I totally expect that from the Northwest. My guy couldn't even be bothered to attend the meeting. But then again, there was no neighborhood association there from my area. But the lady who was in charge of all of that, I think her name was Robinson. It looked like it was Robinson, but she, what kind of caught me was, she was there at that meeting taking all of that flack. And I don't know if this was lost on anybody else that was over there. She caught all that flack, and all around her, when I saw her at the meeting, she was surrounded by her kids, 3 young boys. And those 3 young boys had to watch as their mother got lambasted and chided for all the stuff that really wasn't their fault. I know the biggest problem I have is other departments in Dallas have this bad habit of shifting things on to code enforcement, and code enforcement has nothing to do with it. Why do you send it to code enforcement when there's graffiti on a traffic light that belongs to the city of Dallas? Why do you send it to code enforcement when it's a storm drain that needs to be cleaned out? What's code enforcement going to do about that? They're parking on city property, but you send it to code enforcement. Code enforcement is like the Marines of Dallas City offices. They're the first to go, the last to know. They're the ones they drop in, the first responders. Heck, in some cases, a lot of times, like I said, they're true first responders. But truthfully, I think all these departments are kind of like second responders. The first responder is the person that calls it in the first place. And it sucks. In my 6 months that I've been doing this, I can't believe it's been 6 months. It's just realizing how daunting and monumental the city of Dallas is. There's just so much. Like, you have to give them exact addresses, and you don't have exact addresses. And whoever wrote all of this, whoever built all of this stuff, I get the feeling that Dallas was built without a plan. You know, the city kind of organically spread out, and now we're sitting in the hardened, calcified remains of that slapdash nature. And they keep talking about they want to get bigger and bigger, but the organic organism that was formed here can't sustain it. You know, one of the things in biology, they talk about how insects can't get any bigger than they are because they're chitinous shells. And as they get bigger and bigger, the shell would get more and more dense and it'd be too heavy and unable to sustain the organism. And that's kind of what Dallas feels like. Dallas feels like it's a bug that can't get any bigger. It's stuck at the size it's at. I guess what I'm saying is Dallas needs a spine. Invertebrates got around that by having their support structure inside their bodies. Or vertebrates got around that by having their structure inside their bodies. So Dallas needs to grow a spine, and it needs to start building bones. It needs to evolve bones. And what are bones? Yeah, I know, it goes back to what I was saying. Transit is the bones of a city. Everybody thinks about skin and muscles, eyes and hair, the beautiful stuff. But nobody cares about the bones. And bones are heavy, bones are complicated, bones are expensive. But you need bones if you want to get bigger. I guess I'm hashing this out in the open. So yes, my theory is, or my statement is, Dallas is a boneless city. Which is saying something in a place that's supposed to be in like a barbecue capital. I didn't even know what time. Oh, all right. So my body camera is going to give me two different folders. A new day comes in and it creates another folder. That's going to confuse the hell out of me when I'm trying to put all this together. What I love about the night videos is, like I said, nobody really watches them. I know I got like 12 or 15 views. But I get the feeling it's just some people kind of peeked in, tried to make sense of what was going on, and said this sucks, and they just closed it out. There's not really a way to film in the dark that also doesn't make me, like, this light is already too bright. No, I just love Strike the Earth. I'm 30 minutes later, I'm still listening to it. I got it on loop. I guess they tore something down over there. It's not like I don't know anybody. I don't really know anybody in these neighborhoods. I've had some people come up to me, ask me some questions, say some things. In one of my videos, a cop drives by and sees me. And he said, hey, he said, what happened to your helmet? So that let me know. He's like, hey, we watch you. And I was like, okay. I said, no, I don't wear it at night. He said, man, you're infamous. I was like, all right. My ears are burning. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if my name comes up in mentions of different groups. But people do see me. Anyway, enough about me. People here are generally pretty friendly. I love coming down here because there's very little drama. And so when you heard the gunshots the other night, that was unusual for this area. My area, you know, that shit happens all the time. I live around stupid people. But here, you know, it's like a higher standard. You say, are you calling your immediate neighbors stupid? Not at all. There are some around me that they ain't gonna get it, they don't get it, and they ain't ever gonna get it. And one of those guys went away, ironically, a year ago around this time. It's just weird to be around people that are walking disasters. You see what's going wrong and you just wonder if they see it too. And then you go and try to feel sorry for them, and then they do something that's nasty and adversarial, and you start sitting there thinking, you know, what the hell with you, I hope you die. In your head you're just thinking, what, you know, whatever schadenfreude gets heaped upon him, he deserved it. But I still say, if only. What went wrong? What's that one event that you wish you had the Wayback Machine you can go back and fix? And the weird thing about the guy that got kicked out is he comes from a law-abiding family. He has relatives that are in the sheriff's department in cities up north. And so how did this guy turn out like this when everyone else in the family is a straight arrow? He was the black sheep of the family. I heard something jingle. I didn't know if it was a dog or what. Wait a minute, I hear jet noise. So they are testing jet engines. They're not supposed to be after midnight on a Sunday. There's a Monday now. Even still, there's no excuse for this. Are we sure it's a jet engine? Stop and listen. Yeah, that's there. Sounds like a jet engine. I'm gonna hear it even more when I get closer. Anyway. Another year of this. How many more houses are they going to tear down, right?
Another year. And who knows, maybe someday I'll be looking down here and I'll say, man, you know, Durango's one of the nicest streets that we got in the city. I seriously doubt that, but Hear the train. What is that? These assholes will stop driving down the street. I guess that tells me it's not too noisy if I can hear assholes on the road. It's a propeller plane.